All right, welcome back to Rate This Clinic. So today I've got my friend Bobby alongside me, and Bobby is in a very similar situation to me. He went to Asli Tarcan, and I'm not gonna tell you too much. We're just gonna go straight into it with him. He's gonna tell his story about his experience with Asli Tarcan. So welcome, Bobby.
Yeah, hi, you right?
So Bobby, tell me first of all how old you are, where you live.
Yeah, I'm 32 years old and I live in London, UK.
Okay, and so you've had two hair transplants. So Asli Tarjan was the second one. Tell us about the first one, how old you were, where you went, and what you had done exactly.
Yeah, so the first time, generally, I've kind of been shedding hair since about 18 years of age. I got the first hair transplant in about when I was around 24, 23, something like that. I did go to Turkey and there was a clinic, I can't remember the name of it, but it was by Dr. Alp Aslan. And yeah, the first time I went, I was just kind of balding at the front. And I think I got about 2,500 to 3,000 grafts. The result was all right. You know, there was nothing really alarming about it. The hair grew. The donor area wasn't over harvest or anything. And yeah, it really went well. But then the rest of my hair kind of started shedding after that.
Okay, and so that's first of all a bit alarming, the fact that you went to that clinic and they operated on you at 24. So is it fair to say that place was probably a hair mill?
Looking back on it with what I know now, most likely, yeah.
But fair enough. So it was a hair mill, but we're not saying that you will never ever get a good result at a hair mill, because you will. That's why they get people going back to them. They will have some good results from time to time, but the argument is that you're playing Russian roulette. You don't know what kind of result you're going to get. So in this case, Bobby got a good result. You think it was good, right?
Yeah, I mean, the hair grew how I wanted it to. I didn't really think the donor was over harvest or anything. So there were not really any red flags after the result.
All right, fair enough. And then, so how long after that did you decide to get another transplant, and why?
So I got my second transplant, I think, in 2019. So I was probably about 30, around that age. So basically, the crown of my head started to shed quite a lot, and it was really noticeable, as well as in the middle of my head. So it started to get a bit noticeable. So I thought, you know what, let me kind of see what options are out there and probably go for a second transplant.
Okay, and so how did you come to find Asli Tarjan? So you chose Asli Tarjan. What was the process to find him?
I actually found them on Instagram, on social media, so I could see, you know, every day they were uploading different pictures, different results, and they always promise good coverage, which was definitely a selling point. And when I was looking at them,
As in, like, high amount of grafts.
yeah, because you know, on their Instagram they show someone who's like completely bald, and then the next photo they'll show they have everything covered. So of course I was suffering from quite a lot of hair loss on my crown and also in the middle of my head. So it looked really good to me, and it's what I wanted.
Yeah, okay. So it was the max grafts and kind of the social media presence that won you over to go to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, fine. And then so like so from the time that you decided to go to them, what was the booking process like? How did you go to them from there?
Yeah, so on their Instagram, they've got a number based on what language you speak. So I text them on WhatsApp, was speaking to someone called Maha. So we spoke in English. Basically, I sent her a few photos of what my hair was looking like. At that point, I told her as well that I've already had a hair transplant and I'm kind of worried if I do a second one, will it be over harvest? She told me she will take it to the doctor, and they came back to me and said they use a small punch, so there's no chance of over harvesting. Of course, you know, I'm not an expert on hair transplants, so I thought, okay, if they're giving me confirmation through the doctor, then I'll take it. And they also said I could still achieve maximum hair grafts, but they would have to take some from my beard as well.
Okay. So she actually said she consulted with a doctor, and the doctor said that, yeah, it would be fine. They wouldn't over harvest you, and they'd use some of your beard hairs, and everything would be fine.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. And they made emphasis on using a small punch.
Okay. So the punch size. So the smaller the punch size, in theory, the less scarring that will happen on the donor area. So that's probably why they're suggesting that. Was price a concern for you as well when you booked Asli Tarjan?
Well, of course, it's always in the back of my head. I'm not a millionaire or anything. So they were offering, accommodation, a flight, the actual operation, I think for about $2,500, something around that
Oh, okay.
ballpark. And, if you compare it to ones in the UK, you could pay maybe 2 or 3 times more for less grafts.
Yeah, definitely. In the UK, you could pay up to like six. Well, not even up to. You could pay £5, £6 a graft, and if you're getting 2,000 grafts, you can do the math. So it's quite expensive. Okay, so they promised you a lot of coverage, and price was a factor for you as well. So you went to them. How was the day of the consultation, and how did you find the clinic in general?
Yeah, so I arrived in Istanbul. There was a driver waiting for me. We went to the hotel quickly just to drop off my bag and everything. At the same time, there were about 5 or 6 other guys, I think mainly from the Middle East. We all went on the bus together. We arrived, and then basically we were just sitting in the corridor. It seemed a bit like kind of hospital ward, to be honest. And yeah, we just sat in the corridor. Everyone kind of said hello to the person they've been talking to on WhatsApp. And then they called me into the consultation room. Asli Tarcan, she wasn't there. It was Maha and 2 other women, one in kind of like nurse scrubs.
Is that Jada?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Oh.
And then another one, I wasn't really sure who she was. So yeah, first they just started talking about how many grafts I would get. They said I would get about 5,500 to 600, taken both from the back of my head and my beard.
Underneath the beard, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Like where you can't see it properly. And then they put this machine on where they kind of like look at the hair follicles. So they done it on my donor area, and they were just like, wow, this is really good for the operation. So of course it gave me confidence at the same time. I asked them again about kind of over harvesting and, is there any chance of it? They again said there's no chance of it because of the punch they use. And then they started drawing on the hairline. So for me, I wasn't really bothered about the front of the hairline, but they were really insistent on making it sharp, making it straight, like a proper, when you go to the barber and you get like a shape up, they were really insistent on that. And then, at the end of the day, it's only my second time. They've been doing it for God knows how long. So I just went, they're the experts. Let me go ahead with it.
So they made you feel confident in what they were doing, and you decided to just trust the science. It's like that, yeah?
Exactly. I mean, I wasn't really bothered about the front, but they were like, oh, we can do it. It's not going to affect anything, and it's going to look really good. So, of course, I'm just going to go ahead with it.
Okay. All right, fine. I mean, yeah, because I'm guessing you didn't do that much research into, even though you'd had a transplant before, I'm guessing you didn't put that much research into what should be the optimal amount of grafts and process for you, right?
Not really, no, because like where I'm from, I have a lot of friends who went to Turkey, and it's really just a kind of impulsive decision. You want a hair transplant, you find a clinic that will be quite cheap, and it looks like they have good results, so you just go for it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, tell us about the surgery then, the surgery itself. So you've had the consultation. What was the surgery like?
Yeah, so the surgery, there was still Maha, she kind of walks me through what's going to happen. So initially they got me to change into scrubs, like what they operate onto you. And then they shaved my hair a 0. And then she just said, we're going to take out the grafts first. It will take quite a long time. And then we're going to put it back in on the top of your head. Everything will take approximately around 8 to 10 hours, something like that. So it was quite a long operation. So yeah, she left me after they shaved my hair off, and then I was just left in the room with, I think it was 2 or 3 Turkish ladies, and they didn't speak any English, so I had no idea what's going on. They would just say a word or 2 words in English, like when they're about to tell you something. So for example, when they done the injection into the head to put the anesthetic, they would just say needle. But apart from that, I couldn't communicate at all to them. And yeah, it's just a bit of a weird situation at that point.
So was there a doctor present in the room?
No, there was no doctor at any time.
Did at any point you meet any doctor who would be overseeing or taking part in the operation?
No, it was just the same 3 people who started.
So Yeah. Okay. So the three women. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't
What
think
were
they were
their
doctors.
qualifications? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they weren't doctors. They all looked probably about 20, 21, something like that.
Okay. So I'm guessing these were what they call technicians. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Fine. And then okay. So the operation went smoothly. Everything fine.
Yeah, I mean, it took about 10 hours, they said they implanted 6,000 grafts. I wasn't really in any kind of pain or anything throughout it. And when they showed me the mirror, I could just see the mirror from the front, so looking right back at me. And it looked like I had really good coverage at that point. So in terms of that, the only kind of bad thing I had was there was a translator who just kept coming in and out, and he just kept talking rubbish, if I'm honest. I was in the middle of a long surgery and he just kept like making small talk, and it was just a bit annoying at times.
Okay, fair enough. And at the time, because you said there wasn't a doctor involved, did that raise any flags for you at the time? Obviously now looking back, it does, but at the time, did it register with you or?
No, to be honest, no. I mean, I just thought I was in capable hands. As I said, I'm not an expert on this, and so I thought they've given me the kind of guarantees, so they're gonna deliver on it.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so you've had the transplant. Now let's fast forward about 3 months. So generally it takes about 3 months to start seeing growth. So you have the shedding and then the growth will start. Or anything before that? Is there anything that stuck out at you before that?
So generally after kind of like a week, I'd flown back to London. I was doing a kind of after hair care procedures and everything. But one thing that really noticed out was on the kind of the side of my head. I could see that there was quite a lot of hair missing. And I know it was early days at that point, but I just felt that there was a lack of hair, if that makes sense. So I would keep taking pictures of myself like on a daily basis, and it was getting a bit unhealthy at that point. So I did start to upload some pictures onto like a hair forum, just asking, is this normal? Is this okay? I asked the lady who I was in contact with, Maha. She just said, yeah, it's fine. We'll grow back after 3 months. But as time went on, after like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the rest of the donor hair was starting to grow back, but there was a lot of gaps. And I was really kind of starting to get worried that I had been over harvested. And at that point, there was not really anything I could do but wait to see kind of the results.
Yeah, I mean, I'm bringing up the picture on screen now. Looking at the left side of your head, it looks like there's completely bare patches. Like that could be, so it could possibly early shock loss, but that looks really, really extreme. You can tell that they've taken a lot of grass from there. So you noticed the donor area, so they were just telling you to wait basically.
Yeah, that's all they said. They just said, oh, wait, six months or whatever, everything will kind of grow out.
Yeah.
And one thing was after kind of like 6 months, there were some hairs which actually didn't grow, of which they had implanted.
So where is this, on the top, you mean?
Yeah, it would be on the top, especially around the crown area.
Yeah.
So it didn't grow at all. It didn't shed. Like if I just ran my hand through my head, I would feel like these little bumps. And it was, everything just wasn't really adding up. The donor area seemed to have been destroyed from my view as well. And also the hairs didn't grow properly on top as well.
I mean, yeah, like this. So this picture here, it looks like it's a bit further out, and the donor area looks like awful, like really, really damaged on the side of your head. And if somebody's looking at you from the front, they could probably see that as well, because it's coming quite far forward, that kind of donor damage. So so the hair on top didn't grow.
In fairness, like the front area did grow, that they like the hairline and stuff, but the crown area and the middle part, I don't know what the
mid scalp
was really patchy, and there was just like implanted hair that didn't grow at all.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just bring that up as well. Yeah, I mean, the growth looks very, very patchy at best. In fact, it looks like you probably even haven't had a procedure there, like really bad in the mid scalp. And did that improve over the 12 months?
No, nothing. It came to the point of where basically like my side hair, I tried to grow it out as much, but I just looked really stupid because I had big bald patches on top. So, I probably was better off not getting a hair transplant at all.
Yeah. And so did you follow up with them after they kept saying it will grow back, it will grow back? Did you follow up with them again?
Yeah, I text the lady Maha. She was the only contact I had. I was like, oh, look, please, what can I do to, will it improve? The kind of only response I got, oh, we showed the doctor. They said, just wait, just wait. After a while, I stopped getting replies from them. And, it just seemed to be, I've gone to another country. I've been ripped off, scammed, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, yes. Did you leave any reviews about them or?
Yeah, I left one review, of course, on their social media. They said the usual, oh, you're not our customer, but my picture is actually on their Instagram. For obvious reasons, I'm not gonna send it, but my picture is on their Instagram. I've got their warranty certificate, but no one cared. No one wanted to help.
So the warranty certificate doesn't mean anything, basically. It's just worthless piece of paper they give to you, but they didn't offer you a refund, I'm guessing.
No, nothing.
So
like
no refund, no offer of a top-up treatment, which I'm sure you wouldn't have taken based on what they've done anyway. Like, if they've already butchered you, why would you go back to them for a top-up? But they didn't even offer it. So basically, there was no customer service. Once you left the country, they took your money and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. And I don't think for foreigners there really is any kind of recall to hold them to justice.
Yeah.
I don't know the system. I don't speak their language. And it just seems to be something which is common throughout Turkey. So,
yeah.
There's nothing I could really do at that point.
Yeah. I mean, there is no... I don't know if they have a medical governing body, but if they do, they're certainly not looking out for foreign kind of medical tourists. And there's nobody to complain to. There's no way to kind of seek a legal process. So it's a bit of a wild west out there in Turkey at the moment. I mean, so in the end, what did you do? Have you kept your hair? Have you shaved it off? What was the final solution?
So really, for me, it was just, if I grow it, I just look stupid. So I just decided to shave it all off, and I went for SMP. When I went to the guy who done the SMP, he was quite shocked, just about how bad the back was. But with SMP, I mean, it is a temporary thing, and you have to shave your head literally every day to get the kind of desired look that you're just doing a bold look. So that kind of fades out as well. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, just shaving my head every day.
Yeah.
And kind of doing SMP every few years.
Yeah.
Just to kind of maintain that look.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it sounds like, obviously judging by the pictures, it's a horrible situation. But it looks like you've just kind of let go of that. You've got the SMPs and your hair is in a good state right now. What advice would you give to people, and especially people, so we're from the UK, so what advice would you give to particularly ethnic people in the UK looking for a cheap deal, who want a little holiday to Turkey and think they can go and just get their hair done and everything will be roses after? What advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just research. From what I've seen, like especially with like Asli Tarcan and whatnot, a lot of their thing is word of mouth and social media. I would say just kind of research, and a lot of the negative reviews are actually the more accurate reviews of what you see. So yeah, just research. I mean, if I researched a lot more, I probably wouldn't have went to Turkey at all. I would have maybe saved for a bit longer, even if it's 2 years, and done one at a good clinic, whether in the UK or Europe. But yeah, honestly, like my hair's been ruined now. I've asked kind of other hair transplant, like good ones, is there any kind of comeback for it? They've all said, you've been over harvested. And the problem is my beard as well was over harvested as well. So there's not really anything I can do apart from SMP and shaving it bald. So yeah, just research, otherwise you may live to regret it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very, very common story. And especially in this case, it's even worse because, like you said, they over harvested your beard. Whereas in some circumstances, the elite doctors can do something with the over harvested donor area, provided you've got beard or chest or strong chest hairs to use. But in this case, it looks like they've exhausted pretty much everything. So yeah, I agree with that. Make sure you research, even if you have to pay more money and wait a longer time. It's completely worth it, because in the end, ultimately, you're going to have to pay more money to either get SMP or to get a repair transplant, and psychologically, it's obviously going to have its impact on you as well. So yeah, really like harrowing kind of story. A young guy getting his hair ruined by the butchers at Asli Tarcan and other hair mills in Turkey and across the world, but we're focusing on Turkey at the moment. So all right, thank you, Bobby, for your story. Any closing thoughts about the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, just do your research. I mean, this, as it's said, this has affected me quite bad. I've really lost my confidence. I can't really do anything now, but I just have to live and accept it. So yeah, just be careful out there, guys, and do your research.
All right, thank you, Bobby. Thanks, everybody. If you've got any stories of your own, you want to send them in, please send them in. Email me pictures and we can try and discuss your story, even if you're anonymous. And please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. Thank you, everybody.